She's the cutest geek in the world. She's the cutest geek in the world.
Quiet on set.
Quiet on set! Hey there, Huckleberries, and welcome to another tattoo-related video. I'm gonna be deep diving into my tattoo removal experience, showing you guys some nasty photos and some cool footage. So you've been warned.
That was it. This is gonna be like a fun challenge for you.
How would it's just like a fun.
Recording comes
like-
too easy for you. You
yeah,
need a
like-
little challenge.
There's some weird noises that I hear. Jenny made an appearance. Voila.
Okay, so here's the tattoo I got removed. If you want to hear the full story about what the tattoo is, the meaning behind it, and the full story of getting this tattoo, go.
Have you ever heard the full story?
Oh my god. Make sure to watch my tattoo and piercings video where I talk about all of my tattoos and my piercings. But long story short, it was a free tattoo that I got in this guy's basement when I was 18. So it was pretty crooked and just not what I wanted.
Miss you already.
Stop. Oh my god.
We love her. Just like the fans.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait. Heh. That was not working out so good for me. So, I'm at my sister's house. It ain't always easy mooching on your friends, 'cause they don't let you film YouTube videos when you want to. You want to. And that's why it's 2 days later. I'm just gonna start where I left off. Tattoo removal was always in the back of my mind, but not something that I took seriously until about 6 years after getting the tattoo. I was financially stable for the first time, which I do have a video all about that. If you're interested, you can go watch it. But I finally decided that it was worth it. So the first thing I did was scheduled some consultations. I scheduled 3 consultations. I did end up only going to 2 of them. The first location that I checked out did tattoos as well as removal, so it was kind of like a duo serviced shop, well, and piercings too. It was kind of an inconvenient location for me. Second consultation was at a doctor's office, so they did other cosmetic procedures related to the skin, large medical building, and they quoted me an obscene amount of money. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was over $1,000 for sure, which was completely ridiculous to me. I was like, not about it at all. And then the third consultation was at a laser tattoo removal shop. So that is the only service they offer. It's a very small practice owned and operated by this one guy. His name's Nick. As you can probably guess, that is where I end up booking. Not only was it a good location, they had excellent reviews online. I really thought the shop was clean and nice looking, but it was also the cheapest. $60 a pop. So yeah, I booked Renewal Laser Clinic in Minneapolis with Nick. I'll try and explain tattoo removal just a little bit for you guys. I am not an expert on the topic. I might butcher this, so don't quote me, but this is how I've come to understand tattoo removal. Basically how it works is when you get tattooed, the needle is placing ink into your skin. Duh. And the ink molecules are larger than your white blood cells. So what the laser tattoo removal is doing, basically exploding those ink molecules into smaller pieces, and then over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, your immune system, or your white blood cells, goes in and eats up those little pieces. And then it heals again, and then you go through and do the process again. It takes multiple sessions, and it's actually the length of time between each session where that removal happens, the fading of the tattoo, and your body starts to break it down as the ink molecules become smaller. So that's kind of how I've come to understand it, but if anyone has anything to add on the topic, I'm totally here to hear it out, because it is a very interesting procedure. I was very, very intrigued by the whole process, and I'm really happy I did. I'm really excited that I got to experience something that a lot of people don't experience. It just kind of is cool for me. I think the most important thing to know about getting a tattoo removed is that it is way more painful than getting the tattoo. For whatever reason, other than what I just explained about lasers going in, exploding your skin, I don't know. I guess that kind of brings me to my next topic, which is prepping. How did I prep for my appointment? I did end up purchasing some numbing cream. I purchased BioEvolve numbing cream. It was just recommended to me by a friend of mine who's heavily tattooed, and I applied it a few hours before my appointment and then wrapped it up in saran wrap and then taped it. And I was really lazy about mine, so Nick, my technician, he did criticize my application. Apparently, I didn't do it well enough that I got the full benefits of the numbing, but I still felt like it did numb the area quite a bit. Felt very funny. I would always poke it and stuff. But that was the main part of prepping for my appointment, since I did have to make sure to apply it, you know, like 3 hours beforehand and whatnot. I also made sure to eat a meal, just because when your body is going through some sort of pain, trauma, it does take up a lot of energy. If you go on an empty stomach, you might get nauseous or lightheaded. So I did always eat a good meal. I always made sure to have the day off from work so I wouldn't have to use my arm a whole lot. I would just go home and, you know, rest. And I always made sure to bring a friend with me. Having some sort of physical touch was really, really helpful. I always had someone with me to hold my hand, and I kid you not, when I stopped holding someone's hand, the pain went up exponentially. It was almost unbearable, so it was very painful. So yeah, I don't know, let's talk about the appointment. First appointment went really fast. He always started off with putting my arm on ice. And so throughout the appointment, we would take little breaks and he would put the ice pack back on, and you know, it was a process. But the first appointment only took 15 minutes. It was super short. I wore protective eyewear and I left feeling sore and a little swollen, but it wasn't so bad after the first session. And then I had to wait 8 weeks and I went back for my second session. My second session was way more painful, and it did start to break the skin a little bit. It did swell a little bit more. Between the first and the second sessions, there was a big change in pain level, but the second, third, fourth sessions were all about equal, and then my last session was the least painful. And again, I did wait 8 weeks in between every appointment. So this was over the course of 10 months total. The third and the fourth sessions were the worst. My skin was very broken. There was a lot of blood, lots of scabbing. It was nasty. After the fourth session, he also told me that I would be ready to have a cover-up tattoo. I did decide to go in one more time on my fifth session just because I wanted to. I don't know, I just wanted it to be a little bit lighter in case I wanted a nice light colored tattoo, which ultimately I'm really glad I did. So I ended up filming some footage from that last session, and I'm gonna share it with you right now. Enjoy! Alright guys, it's time to go get my last tattoo removal session. I'm just not in the mood for this at all. I always get really, really excited right before I go in because it just feels so good. Let's go get lasered.
Are you filming me right now?
No, I don't know when it's gonna start.
Oh, okay.
I do need your hand too.
Oh, sorry.
Because it really hurts.
It hurts? It does hurt that bad?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Now,
Like
for
getting
you,
a tattoo or?
worse than getting a
I
tattoo.
was, yeah, I think but I use the numbing cream, so that helps.
Okay.
But it
You
still
will.
hurts.
And your numbing cream is not applied very well.
I don't do it very well.
No, she
Like
doesn't
you
do a
don't
very
put
good job.
enough on?
Always just like punishing herself.
Every time I come
So
in,
you
you're
like
like,
the pain.
did you do this? I'm like, no. Did you do
You
this?
notice I didn't even ask this time.
I know. I'm
That's
sorry.
how I
Just
get.
gave up on asking.
Slow, steady rating. First one's gonna be off the side. Second's right on. Okay?
Good.
That's intense. I wasn't expecting that to be so.
Oh, it's usually not this intense. We just have it turned up for the video.
No.
Okay, I'm not changing any of the settings.
Okay.
We're not doing anything different.
Okay. Are you getting this?
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa! All right, that actually wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst session I've had. So I walked out with an ice pack. It's awesome because he gives me an ice pack every time to take home, and then I get a bunch of ice packs. That's the immediate look. This was not the worst session, but you can see that the skin is really lifted and swollen. You can see that the skin is broken in parts. But really, like, this one, not too shabby. This is my last session, but it's stinging for sure, and it's gonna start hurting more as the numbing cream wears off more. But it is, this actually, you know what? I really need to use this ice pack, because there we go. That feels better. As soon as I take the ice pack off, it starts to hurt
Quite the beat.
So I'm just gonna leave this on. I'm gonna run a couple errands, and it should be good. I'm so happy I'm getting this done. It's great. Pretty cool, right? Let's talk about aftercare really quick. So after every appointment, Nick would send me home with an ice pack, which was wonderful. After I think the third and the fourth appointments, because they were the most swollen, I suppose, he did send me home with a compression sleeve. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. And that also helped. I always made sure to have the day off, like I mentioned previously. I would go home, usually elevate my arm, keep ice on it, basically the entire rest of the day. Really stung more than anything. But ultimately they did heal pretty quick. The bruising, the scabbing, that would kind of stick around, so I did make sure to have my arms covered. I didn't really want to like show people. The only other things I can think of is keep it out of the sun and apply lotion, like an unscented natural lotion, twice a day. So pretty easy, nothing too crazy. Very, very cool experience, especially because I think my tattoo did lift quickly. $60 a session for 5 sessions. That came to a total of $300. Again, this tattoo was free. I got it in this guy's basement for free, because life. $300 total honestly was very worth it to me. I have some good stories to tell. I've got completely unique experience that I can now share with people like you guys, people who might be curious or might be nervous. And I don't know, I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care at all. So $300 total, and again, that's what it looks like. So he did tell me that to have it completely removed, I would need another 5 or 6 sessions total. That's another year. But I like tattoos, and I have every intention of getting a cover-up tattoo here at some point, but it's so light that I don't feel insecure about waiting until I have the money to get the kind of tattoo I want and the artist that I want to see. So I'm not in a huge rush, which I have Nick to thank for that, because I think he just did such a great job removing it and people don't really notice it anymore. So yeah, again, this was an at-home tattoo. The guy who tattooed me, he was very light-handed, so I think that my tattoo removal went above average as far as speed. Also, my tattoo's black. Color lifts much harder. I believe it's like greens that are the hardest to lift out, so better not be regretting this puppy any day. Because that ain't going nowhere. All in all, I had a really, really great experience with Nick and Renewal Laser Clinic. I would highly recommend them to any of my friends or anyone else in the Minneapolis area. So, what questions do you have? Is there anything I forgot to mention in this video that you're still curious about? Again, go watch my other tattoo video to learn the stories behind my tattoos, and I also have a tattoo vlog from getting my sleeve, or at least starting my sleeve. Stay tuned for some more talking videos like this one, as well as some vlogs around Christmas. Christmas time is here. Yay! So, okay, I'll see you guys really soon. Love you so much. Thanks for watching. Peace. Jenny, come look at me with sideburns. Look at his butt. He looks like Seth Rogen.